So I'm feeling optimistic because I'm not feeling the need so much to complain. Complaining at this point is rote. Okay, to some degree. I'm feeling optimistic because in going back over these websites and then shaping them up enough in terms of inputting the content, and albeit some of it is messy, but that's where I was. But what I can see now is I only had stupid to work with, and stupid brought stupid with them, which gave me more work to do for stupid times stupid. Okay, so I'm leaving them messy. I'm pulling in thoughts that I had on the sides of the website software that were outside the frame. I'm bringing those in, and I'm not editing them. You're going to see misspellings. You're going to see thoughts that aren't completed because I had to move on to the next stupid thing, clamoring for my attention. Okay, so I'm just shaping them up to consolidate. Like, I did this work. I gave it what I got and continued on. And that I'm feeling optimistic because I'm seeing that I don't have a reason to. The new leaf for me is that I don't have. I it's conceivable that I don't have to sign up to complain anymore. Today I was sitting in the lobby with Minnow. I had his little puppuccino, which is the whipped cream, and then I had mi cafe. And so I was sitting in the lobby gallery foyer of this building when you first enter, and people come in, and Minnow likes to greet them. And I was speaking with a person, and it's so maybe weird and trite, but if I were to sit in that foyer more often and just ran sort of logistics, I bet you my comments generally with people, not all, but if I sit there and we have a conversation, I would say that conversation is largely supported by complaint. There's going to be some issue with complaint, and I asked how I was, how things are, and I think it started off with a complaint on their end. And I'm like, yeah, I had someone park in my parking spot, and then they had, and I hate it when they park here. I'm like, yeah, I had two next to the door and a handicap, and then I couldn't get that passed, and so there was that conversation. But I'm starting to think, like, I don't think this is really necessary for you, Angela, nor do I think it's provident. And they're having a hot chocolate social today, and I based on that conversation in the foyer with this person, they said, well, that's something that should really be brought up with Avesta, the parking thing. And I'm like, I'm not trying to have Avesta do my work for me. I did run into Sarah Thurston on the way in, and she apologized. She got my message, and she was in a meeting, and I told her things worked out and stuff, and I pointed at that. I'm like, look, I'm cranky right now, okay? It's just an extra variable to my management. And I said, so I called because I was looking for someone to bitch to right now. And she's like, I know, okay. And I'm like, good, okay. But I had a suggestion. I said, the gate was up the whole way, and it was stuck up like it will, the entrance gate to cover parking. And sometimes people come in here thinking it's city parking. She asked me if I knew who parked there. I said, her car looks familiar, but she doesn't. And anyway, I'm starting to feel like issuing complaint after complaint and being poised to be able to do that, to rectify my land and landing is is optimistically is something that's become rote. And I don't need, you know what I mean, that I feel that that's sufficiently. I can always fall back on it. You know, what I'm saying is, you know, there's like I'm driving my car and, you know, the guy yells at me that I'm a cunt, so I bring out my video and I follow him, and at the next stoplight I get out and I walk over to him at the stoplight out of my car, give him a video and say, did I hear you correctly? You just call me a cunt. Oh no, why would I say that? And I'm like, oh. You know, and then I put it online. You know, I'm saying there's the wet tissue of that, the tissue is it's about providing my own protection with my own eyewitness. Okay. And my own means and my own delivery so that it has follow through and so I can make my same amens. Seem and same amens. I can always fall back on that. But what I'm sensing is that delivery modem is not, it's not the primary concern or the primary value. Especially as I have this opportunity to broadly look back as I'm going forward. And I've done the work. And anyone else can see that too, if they want to. I was trying to think about, you know, today the conversation in the foyer as an indication of how to start arcing my conversation to make a difference. You know, how do I arc a conversation of, I'm not here to complain or listen to your complaints. Have a nice day. It's a thought. That thought does not seem well grounded when I think of saying it to this person, because they'll just be like, you're not living in reality. And it's like, well, I am, but you simply don't know what I do with my time. Okay. Because I'm sure this person knows nothing about what I do online. Even though I've marketed to this building, okay, and this area. I'm just generally more optimistic. I really can't explain it except that it seems to have, seems to encapsulate a sense of freedom, to be happy. To represent that and knowing that image is earned and it only stands to continue. I sense you're waiting for something to happen. I sense that we're the ends. Positive 0, negative 0. Okay? To continue, to not continue. N-O-K-N-O-T. If we are the ends, tone, hone, and the head done, honest, tool, the lend, and L.b, every pound, lead, lend, bed, bend, det, ta, gen. It would seem to me everyone else working the warp and the weft. So your warp is the long thread, and I like to think of that as vertical, and I like to think of spiritual, and the weft, that's going across to the selvage ends of your fabric, and the weave, weave, and the heaves, ea.ven, that's, eaves are the top of your building. They need to make those ends meet. So I sense you're waiting for something to happen. I would say it's, I'm doing what I can on my end, and I'm sure you're doing what you can on your end, but it's obviously not just up to you and me on the ends. Need to make the ends meet, okay? And we're simply in place to comp and chomp, Pete and lay your eat, complete. Rich can't be free any other way. Free from the stain of doft, okay, to toot and loot toft, all right? And if rich can't be free, the hair can't share. Appreciably, okay? BLEAD. I don't know. Maybe I should just start pretending and practicing that I don't need to complain. Well, when I look at the word comp, lane, put com, p, parentheses L, A, I, N, where L is love. And so you've got complain, but you've got pain, okay? It would seem to me the only people that would conceivably have the right to complain are the people that laid the love. Okay? And so they're complaining with the pain that they're feeling, that they're not, the ends didn't meet, okay? They give, but they don't receive. Okay, I read you loud and clear on that. That's good, and I feel very optimistic about that as well. I am trying to turn this. I mean, with an avenue in the marketplace, brain angled every consideration. Anyone can check my work. And my working worth, and that I wore it, okay? And I worked it and I wore it. the the desert, the deserted head. Well, the reward of desert is for the deserted head, debt tool lend, debt tool bend, lead bend, bed, lead, debt again. I'm saying that in the competitive marketplace, when you look at what appeals, what is sexually appealing to Doft, to Toot Toft Thief End, it's someone who's sexy from every flawless angle, but they're not actually in. Okay, they're not positioned to be in reception even. It's merely a tool of deception to face the same tool of deception. Your fantasy, you know, your big throttle-breasted fantasy and skin-bearing lasciviousness -t is meaning the same means of your fiction of going to war -t, war for no reason thief end. Dead again to deem this is the in lust I trust. Or you're going to call it love because you brought no one with you to bew and bust, but. BU, bushel, it's where you put a large amount of something. S, T over T. Okay. You know, you need to bring anyone with you. And you're not one, and you're not staging one in awareness to see it through. So, deserted the head, doff stupid, obviously does not care an honest fuck about what I think, even, neither does Toft, for no reason. Toft stands on Doft, stupid, to get Toft. Okay? So, those are the people that are deserting the head. They think they're the head, Dow with war, -T, wart again, okay? They think they're the head, to the tail, to the end, the means, okay? They're not really, and they can't conceive able, BLEAD. That is obvious. And if they can't conceive an able lead, they can't conceive an able bed, okay? So, I know that perhaps you think that I'm more industrious to be applied as complaining with everything to my sty eye. That's not a RT. That's A-RT hyphen. Okay. Judiciously, obviously, I don't think I'm ever going to get away from that. You know, it seems to be there's a need for it. When there's not a need for it, we'll all be the air, okay? Right here. Okay? But what I am, you know, what I'm trying to endeavor, to engineer, and to turn, TEARN with every TY, thanks, TYEARN, is a way to go for reward and let the jackasses keep complaining all over the place because they're not doing real work, okay? So let them eat their own complaint. They're not the grace. They didn't care. They deserted value. They deserted it. And prefer staging women to be fantasy for no reason thief ends. You know, let them have their value, all right? It's an opportunity to concentrate visually with what you look at with something that feeds you, okay? It is not tooling an image to have you stare for no reason there. Okay? It does seem the just reward a desert with a deserted head that debt to tool and lever end. Rend? End. Rend, that's to rip something apart, but when you're rending the same end that debts to begin again, we can see that parallax happening in the competitive marketplace thief end. You have ta in taint with paint. T hyphen parentheses P hyphen A hyphen IN hyphen T hyphen. Your container red doffed to toot toft thief end dead again. Okay? But you're pushing the same hyphenated shit around. You're never making any honest ground. Okay? So it's the theatrics of the absurd AB sired red as your date of birth, hyphenated. Okay? As you make up a fictitious third person that's God that's as stupid as you are to pass a doft. Tone, doft tone on your lot. It's hyphenated, okay? And you can't get off your low hyphen T because you can't honestly afford an honest dime to stand on. When you understand that dynamic, that it's not honestly going anywhere, then you understand the value of what I'm doing right here and why it's utterly necessary to be there. Equally in repair. And then you start seeing what's necessary to make those ends meet in follow through. So we eat. We eat the H, okay? the hydrogen, okay? Sweet heat, ta reap, to rep and reap, pleat, and peat. There's just no making you happy today, is there? I can't seem to suffer every lame contingency for you, it would seem. I think what's going on here is change is in process, and you're maybe a little edgy about that, and that is what it is. And me coddling you, trying to help you see it through, I don't think that's actually helping you. And is it helping me? Well, I've got work to do. Get this shit up so I'm like, it's a thing of the past and anyone can check it if they want to. One of the values of me doing this work that I can see conceptually is if I can tango with the law -T, so can anyone. Okay? I'm providing a proprietary way through. Okay, even to. Even in absentia. All right? It's really the exact opposite and reverse of what law -T is doing. In absentia of what's missing, Jesus never had EWE. But the problem with the law -T is it makes it go missing, okay? With an assumption. You're not EWE. So I've reversed that. EWE is right here and is speaking for right there also, okay? Because I've cast my image in reception even. So I can make my seam and same amens. Okay, I can mend myself debt again. To land the hand. You know, No apology. I thought it through. And I sussed whatever came in front of me, either knocked on my door or cast an image out there for me to stare at. You know, I've given you my 2 cents, and that's my rig height. um, I think I'll just stop there. You know, I did a video here also. Um, what else? Well, I think change is in order, and you know, let's just see what happens. You know where to find me. um, I'm going to stop the broadcast, upload these videos, and I'll work on the next website to make sure that's shipshape. And heck, I might get this done by the end of the year, all 3 of these. So Primo, Holly Sprague, and Rich Rote. I might get those done so we can start thinking about something new. Optimistic and happy. um, with the right to.